Okay, Assalamualaikum. Okay, today we move to the next topic, which is the organization of the data. Okay, as you know, in multivariate regression, we deal with several variable, which is a variable more than one. Okay, if our variable is more than one, so we can use the multivariate analysis. Okay, so first of all, before we can make use of the variable data from that variable, first we need to organize the data in array ataupun dalam bentuk matrix. Okay, alright, so let's say here when the number of variable is more than one, okay, which is p more than or equal to one variable, so we can arrange the data dalam bentuk array macam ni. X adalah notation untuk measurement for the variable. Okay, so kalau tengok kat sini, variabelnya disusun in a column dan item ataupun number of observation disusun dalam row, bentuk row. Okay, and all the value of x1 and x11, x12 ni adalah observation lah. So Mr. x11 ni adalah observation from first variable, and first observation x12 adalah data observation from second variable and first item, right? And then from there we also can organize it dalam bentuk matrix. Okay, like this. Okay, column will be the number of variable here. If we have two variables, so akan ada two column saja. If we have five variables, so we will have five column, and then number observation will be in the row. Okay, so matrix ni will be n by p. Okay, sebab matrix kita akan sebut row dulu baru sebut column. Ni example from your textbook, example 1.1 dekat page 6. Okay, so kalau you baca dia punya explanation dalam your textbook, a selection of 4 receipts from a university bookstore was obtained in order to investigate the nature of the book sales. Each receipt provided, among other things, the number of books sold and the total amount of each sale. So the first variable will be the total dollar sales, and the second variable will be the number of books sold. Okay, so like this, we have two variables here, and all of this will be the observation from these two variables. Okay, so what can we do here? Now, arrange the data dalam bentuk array. So because we have two variables, so we will have two column here, and then we will have four row because we have four observation for each variables. So kita punya matrix will be 4 by 2. Okay, so from there kita dah susun ni, so bolehlah nak calculate all the simple statistic, which is mean, variance, covariance dan juga correlation. Okay, so macam mana nak cari sample mean? Okay, nak cari mean ataupun variance apa semua tu, kita cari untuk setiap variable. Okay, tapi kalau cara nak susun, nak arrange the sample mean dalam bentuk matrix will be like this. It will be only one column. Okay, akan ada beberapa row. Contoh tadi ada dua variable, so akan ada kat sini dua row saja. Satu column, dua row, so 2 by 1. Kat sini will be mean for the first variable. Here will be mean for the second variable. How to find the mean? The formula yang you dah very familiar, which is total of observation for each variable, summation of x divided by how many item yang ada. Okay, and then put here and arrange sample mean, letak dekat sini. Okay, and then untuk variance pula, this is the formula for variance. Okay, you all dah familiar juga. Variance Okay. Variance and covariance will be displayed in a matrix dipanggil variance and covariance matrix. The diagonal of the matrix will be the value of the variance for each observation, and the other value dalam this matrix will be the covariance. Okay, how to calculate the variance and covariance. This is a formula for the variance yang you dah familiar, which is every item for each variable, tolak dengan mean for each variable. Mean tadi dah tahu kan macam nak kira, squarekan dia, total up for each step, divide dengan n, ataupun you boleh just key in dalam calculator saja kan value for each variable tadi, dan keluarlah value of variance, then you should put in the diagonal here. Okay, and then untuk sample covariance pula, you kena calculate manually, which is, okay, kat sini x1 bar, di sini x2 bar. Okay, sample covariance ni, you cari untuk covariance untuk dua variable yang berbeza. Covariance untuk dua variable yang berbeza. Contohnya kita tadi ada dua variable, x1 dan x2. So, covariance will be here S12. Covariance maknanya covariance untuk first variable dan second variable. Okay. So, kat sini will be each item for from first variable. Okay, minus dengan its mean for first variable. Here will be the item for the from the second variable minus its mean for the second variable. So you can calculate each of that, divide dengan how many item yang ada. So kat mana nak letak covariance ni? Kat sini lah. Contohnya tadi kita ada dua variable. Kalau ada dua variable, so sample variance and covariance will be 2 by 2 matrix. Kalau ada dua variable, variance covariance will be 2 by 2. Kalau ada tiga variable, variance covariance will be 3 by 3. Okay, contoh tadi, kalau ada dua variable, so variable you will be 2 by 2. So, sampai sini sajalah. So di sini will be the variance for the first matrix, first variable. Di sini variance for the second variable. S12 dan S21 will have the same value, okay, which is the covariance between variable pertama dan variable yang kedua. Kalau you ada tiga variable, you punya matrices will be 3 by 3. Contohnya, okay, kalau tiga variable, so you punya matrix will be 3 by 3. So kat sini will be the variance for the first variable, variance for the second variable, variance for the third variable. And then you need to find the covariance between first variable and second variable, covariance between first variable and third variable, dan covariance between second variable and third variable. Okay, and then the value of S12 sama dengan S21. The value of S13 sama dengan S31. The value of S23 sama dengan S32. Okay, so ini kalau you ada tiga variable. Okay, itu variance covariance matrix. And then from there we also can find the correlation matrices. Okay, it will be displayed like this. Okay, so sama juga macam tadi. Kalau you ada dua variable, you punya correlation matrix will be 2 by 2. Kalau you ada tiga variable, variance covariance matrix will be 3 by 3. And all the diagonal here, the diagonal will be 1. And then yang lain-lain tu adalah correlation value. How to find the correlation value? This is the formula. You akan gunakan covariance dan juga variance value from the covariance matrix tadi untuk dapatkan value of correlation. Okay, macam let's say kalau kita ada dua variable, so akan ada 2 by 2 kan. Kalau dua variable, you akan ada 2 by 2. Sampai sini sajalah. 2 by 2. So the diagonal will be 1, and then you need to find the correlation between first variable dan second variable here. Okay, then the value of R12 dengan R21 is sama. So cari satu je lah value R12. Okay, so kalau nak cari kat sini R12, so means that here adalah covariance. Covariance between first variable dan second variable divide dengan standard deviation. Kat sini standard deviation of first variable darab dengan standard deviation untuk second variable. S11 adalah variance, so nak dapatkan standard deviation kena square root the value. So dapatlah value untuk R12 here. Okay. Okay, itu kalau you ada 2 variable. Kalau ada 3 variable, so you punya matrix will be 3 by 3. And then all the diagonal is 1. And then you kena cari correlation between R12, correlation between R13 dan juga R23. The value of R12 sama dengan R21, R13 sama dengan R31 dan R23 sama dengan R32. Okay. So kalau yang ni nak cari R13, it will be covariance between variable 1 and variable 3 divide dengan standard deviation of first variable divide dengan multiply dengan standard deviation for the third variable. Then you akan dapat R13 here. Dan sama jugalah, same goes to R23 guna formula tadi. Alright. Okay, ini contoh daripada data yang sama tadi actually dalam your textbook page 10. Okay, ni tadi kan kita punya value of the observation 42, 52, 48 and 58 untuk first variable and 4, 5, 4, 3 untuk second variable. So untuk cari mean total up divide by 4 you akan dapat this. And then so mean untuk first variable 50, mean untuk second variable 4. So you akan susun dalam bentuk macam ni kan, dalam satu kolom saja. Okay, untuk dapatkan variance because we have 2 variables, so kita akan susun dalam bentuk macam ni lah, 2 by 2. So the variance will be here, first variable. The variance for second variable will be here. Okay. Okay, you boleh kira manually like this. Ni item untuk setiap variable tolak dengan its mean. Kena kira satu-satu, total up divide by 4. Ataupun you boleh key in dalam calculator, you boleh try. Key in dalam calculator, you akan dapat jawapan yang sama lah. You will have the same answer, 34 for first variance and 0.5 for the second variance. Okay, untuk sample covariance, like I said, you need to calculate manually. Okay, let's say kat sini kalau you tengok, 42 ni adalah first item untuk first variable, betul? Tolak dengan its mean 50. 4 adalah first item untuk second variable, tolak its mean 4. Okay, yang ni pula second item first variable. Di sini second item for second variable. Okay, tolak its mean. Total up divide by 4 you akan dapat covariance. Okay, the covariance here will be the same. And then from there also we can find the correlation matrix. Okay, which is here 2 by 2 juga. And then the diagonal will be 1. And then here the value negative 0.36 ni adalah correlation. The correlation between first variable and second variable. Di sini covariance. Di sini adalah standard deviation first and second variable. So the answer will be negative 0.36. That is the way how to calculate the sample correlation matrix. Alright. Rather than we organize ataupun we arrange the data dalam bentuk array, we also can display the data dalam bentuk graphical, which is the scatter plot. Okay, so I believe that you all semua dah familiar how to draw the scatter plot. Okay, scatter plot can be drawn for 2 variable simultaneously. 2 variable saja. Kalau you ada 3 variable, so you kena buat separately lah. X1 dengan X2, X1 dengan X3 dan X2 dengan X3. So let's say kat sini, contoh di sini, we have two variable here. Okay, so just plot the scatter plot. X-axis will be X1, Y-axis will be X2. Dan di sini, item pertama kat sini, observation pertama, 3 and 5. So it will be here, 3 and 5. This dot will be 3 and 5. This dot will be 4 and 5.5, and so on. Okay, and then from this scatter plot, we can draw the dot diagram. This is dipanggil dot diagram. Dot diagram untuk X1 dan juga X2. So how to draw this dot diagram? Just draw the straight line for X1 dan draw the straight line for X2. So actually the dot diagram ni actually adalah the projection of the dot from the scatter plot. Katanya kat sini 2, okay, value 2, we have 2 dot for value 2, and then we have 1 dot for value 3, projection daripada scatter plot. We have 1 dot for value 4 and so on. Sama juga untuk X2, kita boleh tengok projection from the Y-axis. We have 1 dot for value 4. We have 2 dot for value 5, 1 dot for value 5.5 and so on. So daripada dot diagram ni, kita boleh tengok frekuensi for each of the value from the variables. So daripada sini juga kita boleh calculate lah, dan lepas tu kita boleh calculate mean, variance dan juga correlations. Okay, so that's all untuk organization of the data. And then actually you will use all this knowledge nanti untuk organize the data. Nanti dalam chapter 2 nanti you akan guna balik lah all of this knowledge of organization of the data. Alright.